Shivang, we probably got very lucky with knowing Dhaval, probably attending one of these seminars the first time. I think that's how I got to know of him. So I think when Shivang was just after his 9th grade is when we went to Dhaval with Shivang, when I thought was the right time. So he did all his psychometrics, figured out his interests, sort of aligned with Shivang. I would say he had been mentoring Shivang when he was in 9th grade, helped him out to take a summer school program to understand what an experience like, what it is to experience like being in an American university. He took up a course, a math academy course at UPenn. We actually made it to Brown also, thanks to Dhaval, and we pushed it pretty hard. He coached Shivang into doing the TOEFL. We did the pre-SAT with him. And I think all of that really helped him to understand whether so we did it at that level when we weren't really sure of whether we wanted to take up an international curriculum. We were still doubting an ISC versus an IB curriculum. And I thought that whole paradigm shift also happened because of the fact that Shivang got us opportunity to go to UPenn, see what it means to be in a university like that, what it is to be studying in that environment, the curriculum, the professors, that exposure. So I think Dhaval has been really instrumental in getting us to make that shift from an ICSC to an IB. And I'm sure all of you here can seek him for all that confusion. I mean, he has lots of beans, and he'll be able to guide you completely through this. Thanks, yeah, Dhaval. Do you want me to say something?
No.
Yes, he did. So this was after his 9th grade, he went to summer school. In fact, Shivang had been the youngest child to make it to UPenn because he was only 14 when he made it, while all his classmates, if I'm right, Shivang, right? He was the only 14-year-old among all other kids, and the acceptance rate for UPenn was very 9%, if that's the stats, I thought. But so it was great. I mean, it came a lot of effort. It was a lot of effort from all of us, and certainly from him. And we put the essay together. We put all our documents together, and it's a lot. It's literally like experiencing an application to a school, for your undergrad. It's almost like that. So it wasn't as simple. And we did the TOEFL, and there's a cutoff for TOEFL. It's not like we took it twice. We missed it once. So we've fumbled and tumbled and done a lot of mistakes, and it's not been easy. And not that we did we did whatever best we managed at UPenn. I can only say at the end of it we managed. I was very keen, right? So I think that was a very...
You can also talk about your experience that, I think we also helped him with, curate this whole, his move to an IB education.
Yeah, because, that whole... like we all come from old schools, and I'm sure all of us here are. Especially I had been very heady with getting him to do the regular ICSC, ISC, go through that curriculum. In fact, I took the risk of having him to miss 2 months of school literally while his 10th grade was on, and that was quite a risk because I knew we were compromising maybe 5% on the board exam result, but didn't matter in the long run really. The experience was amazing because we figured that there's a lot of possibility if your children are those kind of kids who have a lot of creative abilities alongside academic abilities, and then you want to nurture all of that. It's easier to take an IB program because it will allow you to hone all your skills and probably get all of this together. And especially when you go undergrad anywhere abroad, you probably have the opportunity to choose from a varied spectrum, which probably won't happen when you go through so we knew Shivang had to take up something like engineering because he loves his math and physics. But having said the IIT route wasn't easy, and we understood that we still may have a wider horizon when we go looking up to universities at the undergrad level, which probably wouldn't have happened in the other way. So I think we got to know a lot about this at that early level. I think if there are kids who are in 9th grade, it's the right time to hook up with him and figure what you can, because it's at that point when you really want to identify what your child is up for. because I think it's too late if you go. I mean, I think if anybody applied in much later, I would feel it's too late. But Saima is here giggling. She also made it to Stern, so she's made him proud. She probably has something else to say because she decided way later. So Dhaval can literally make that also happen. So just in case you realize too late, probably he can make it happen. So Dhaval, is there anything else?
No,
I'm kind of
absolutely. The stage is yours.
No.
I don't have to say anything.
No. So we're just. I think we're very lucky to have somebody right here because we can bother him any time of the day or night, which is not otherwise allowed to do. Dhaval has his own Sundays and stuff like that. But at least if you spot him in the garden, he won't be able to ignore you completely, and you can figure it. So we get this advantage. This is only because we are all here in AG.